So good evening, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday evening meditation. I am so delighted that you all are here this evening. And once again, it's just a few moments in the middle of the week to pause, to get a message, to reflect on that message, and then to take that message through the rest of our week and perhaps even share it with others as we move through our world and our lives. My name is Rev Rob Banaszak. I am the pastor of the Institute for Spiritual Development. And if you are watching on YouTube Live, please always remember to like this video and subscribe so that you can receive updates about when we are publishing our evening meditations or Sunday services. So we really will appreciate that. We will be using, as we always do, our beautiful Earth Magic cards. Now, these cards were a gift from my husband from Provincetown, Massachusetts, from a store that is no longer there. And so they mean a lot to me because they were a gift. They seem to speak just to what we need them to speak to each week. And they offer us some challenge without being too overwhelming with some of their messages. So we will, as we always do, ask you guys to add your energy to the cards by just holding your hands up or doing whatever you do, sending it over to here. I'm just going to move the cards around. I loosely call it shuffling. And then we'll pick the top card, and that will be our card for this week's message and this week's meditation. So I'm going to move them around myself here. And just add your energy there. I can feel everybody there. Oh, that one fell. I'm closing my eyes over this one. So I have no idea what that card is. It went right back into the deck. And so let us choose the top card for today, which is the Lotus Flower Unfoldment. Well, that's lovely, especially at this time of spring. I'm going to lay the card down. And then we're going to take a look at the card while I do some reading about lotus flower and unfoldment. So the lotus flower is the logo for the Institute for Spiritual Development, as it is for many metaphysical organizations, and really represents the process that we are all in on our spiritual journey, that unfoldment, that growing into our spirit, that aligning with the divine that we know is both within and without. And so this week's card, Lotus Flower Unfoldment, says, the lotus flower sits upon one of its leaves, having risen to the surface as the sun, held in the hand of God, invites it upward to the light. This unique plant is rooted in the mud and muck at the bottom of a body of water, its stem reaching up to the surface, where the leaves rest quietly. At night, the flower closes and sinks below the surface, only to rise with the daylight and once again gradually unfold its petals, its stem extending beyond, above the waterline, 3 feet or more. What we learn from this amazing plant is how our own spiritual path unfolds and opens to the light, then at times gently folds in on itself for a proper rest when the daylight fades. This period is just as necessary as the growth, for it allows the plant to integrate what it has gained in nourishment during the day. It's also just as important that it is rooted And it is yet another miracle of nature that something so exquisitely beautiful is formed from the mud and the silt at the water's bottom. Your spiritual unfoldment is occurring at all times, whether or not you are aware of it. It is inevitable as long as you put your trust in the hands of the Creator, the one who holds the light. Like the lotus, your soul is always reaching for the light to fulfill its karmic destiny. But even in that process, there are periods of darkness and times to rest. It is a natural cycle, one that cannot truly be coerced or halted. It has an innate rhythm of its own, one that is unique to the being that is you. You do not need to strive or to be driven by spiritual ambition. It does no good to try to force growth upon yourself or others, for that matter. Allowing is the key here. Allow the place in you that naturally wants to follow the light to do so, while recognizing that even when you have complete faith, you will face challenges and occasionally suffering. Your steady faith and love will guide you on your journey of returning to the light. Well, as we approach the spring equinox, as we approach this time of rebirth and regrowth, what more beautiful card to receive on this evening. And at the pond at the Institute for Spiritual Development, when we are there and when we return there, we do have many, many lotuses that are blossoming throughout the spring and summer, and they are just gorgeous, and they do remind us of the journey that we are all on as we pass them in the morning going to church, or as we may leave in the evening for some of us that are there, seeing them fold and prepare for the day ahead. So we can really enthusiastically, joyfully, even with a sense of relaxation, move into tonight's meditation. And so, as always, I'm going to invite everyone to get comfortable, and I'm going to bring up just the card there because I may ask you to take a look at it during the meditation to remember it, or you can take a good look at it now, study it, close your eyes, and kind of emblazon it in your mind's eye so that you can return to it as we move through our meditation this evening. And as always, as we get comfortable, we're just going to begin focusing on our breath in the way that we do. And that's simply to become aware of a process that is so natural, we almost never pay attention to it throughout our day. That is breathing. So just become aware of that breath as it enters your body. As you breathe in through your nose, and then you may want to hold on to that breath, that source of life. Hold on to it just for a moment, paying attention to how it feels when it fills your body. And then nice and slowly exhale it, releasing the essence of you out into the ether. Let's just take a few more moments to pay attention to that breath. Inhaling and pausing just a moment to appreciate it, filling our lungs and the rest of our body and giving us oxygen. And then exhaling slowly. maybe one more time to pay attention to this breath, inhaling and holding just for a moment, and then exhaling. Good. Good. Now, as we begin to relax, you can stop paying attention to your breath. Just allow that breath to settle in comfortably, confidently, sturdily. We're all in different locations, and we all may hear various ambient noises coming from those locations. And I invite us all to use that ambient noise as a way of becoming more aware and going deeper into our meditative state. So if the doorbell rings, or the dog barks, or the siren blasts, just remember it's just a signal that we can go just a bit deeper into ourselves. And so we relax more and more. Our breathing has taken over for us, and it will anchor us to our physical self as we choose to go deeper and deeper, to take this pause to understand more about our own journeys. We are relaxing more and more. We're feeling ourselves just lift from our physical body into the ether around us, into that spirit plane where we feel safe, free from pain, free from any strife, free from any angst, and opening to the brief adventure that awaits us this evening. And as the tone fades, we find ourselves in a state of peace and serenity. We become aware of our surroundings in this spirit plane. We become aware that we are sitting or resting or floating atop a calm, comfortable, perfectly temperate pond of water. We're floating freely, but the pond is still as the sun goes down, as the rays disappear for the day. And so we just allow ourselves to feel the gentleness of this floating. As the calm from the dusk just settles over us like a beautiful, soft evening blanket. We can fully embrace this feeling of being suspended as we float in this pond. And yes, we realize that we are floating because we are on a beautiful green pad, a beautiful lily pad, just quietly and peacefully floating in the evening pond. We hear the water trickling in the distance. Perhaps these waters will float us over a creek more quickly, but for now, we are perfectly calm in this space. We've entered into this space as the evening sets. We've entered into this space of rest, of regrouping, of rejuvenation, of calm. And as calm as we are, as comfortable as we feel floating and floating and floating, we are aware this evening of those other lily pads, the others of us also flowers that have folded in for the evening, just enjoying this pond together in the silence, going deeper with every tone. And we sense the strength from all those that have joined us in real time or are joining this meditation from the recording, but this space we have created together, this space, we will all always be here. And the harmony of the tones reminds us of the confidence that we can feel as we each go through our own spiritual process and journey, but having the opportunity to share it as a community. We're going to hear the tones die down for just a few moments. And as they fade into the silence, we go in our mind's eye to the card, to that lotus, to the painting on the card of the lotus sitting in the pond. We begin to feel that card as ourselves. And for tonight, as we rest in the evening dusk, we think about something in our lives on our spiritual journey. Something that we have consciously rested within ourselves. And that because of the card we've drawn tonight, we're ready to allow it to open. We remember in the reading that it's not about any effort we have to make. We simply have to allow our opening. And tonight, in the safety of our group, we choose one thing, just one space or place or relationship or experience that we are ready to just allow to open and unfold in the days ahead. And when we discover that experience, that part of our journey that we're ready to unfold, we imagine that feeling, that experience in the very center of our lotus space, folded in, perhaps protected by all of the petals that surround it. But now that we've decided and chosen to allow it to unfold, those petals begin to become a little restless. And the excitement and the sense of adventure that we feel right now with that beautiful experience waiting to unfold in our lives. We sense the warmth of the sun's rays coming up over the horizon. The evening has passed quickly. The night has moved forward, and yes, the dawn is breaking. The dawn is warming us from the inside. The dawn is greeting us with its light and its love. The dawn awaits our unfoldment. As the sun comes up more and more over the horizon, we feel from the core of our essence, our own petals begin to move and stretch. We begin to feel them ever so gracefully unfurl and stretch even more toward the sun's rays. The more the sun rises into the sky, the more our own petals cannot resist the warmth, the invitation of the light to open more and more. More and more. More and more, as we are aware of what is in the center of this flower, what we have chosen to reveal to the sun, to the light, to the world. And as the sun gets brighter and brighter, what we are unfolding for the world begins to glow like a bright, shining jewel, clear, clear, solid, radiant, and beautiful. We greet the sun. We've unfolded and unfurled this beautiful part of who we are. We've revealed it to the world and the light and to one another. And so in our mind's eye, we glance next to us and around us, above us, below us, sensing those beautiful jewels from the center of those petals, glowing brightly, ready to be shown, ready to be expressed, ready to reflect our authentic selves. We merely just accept this new, exciting, rejuvenated part of us that has unfolded and unfurled in the morning light of this day. And with joy, with anticipation, we feel the waters begin to move beneath the pad that we are resting on, flowing more and more quickly, because we are on a journey and we are moving forward with what we have revealed today. We are here together. The water picks up the flow and sends us all together down the stream, gently, still gently, like a bubbling and gurgling and excited creek, just popping and splashing and laughing as we all just move down the water together, laughing, gleefully, cheering, and as we flow in this state where we feel like we are just flying so gently down the stream, we begin to sense that breath that has been holding us, anchoring us. We just sense it right underneath us, as if it were underneath that lily pad the whole time, as we inhale and we exhale, inhale and exhale, and that flow has just rested us back to wherever we have made ourselves so utterly comfortable, so completely safe, so beautifully secure, so wonderfully serene. And as we breathe and pay attention to our breath, we feel our bodies just form around that breath. We know that we have folded in and unfurled all in these few moments. We know that unfoldment will carry us through the days ahead, the weeks ahead, the months ahead, however long we choose to express this from ourselves. And so with this empowerment, we choose to return to our bodies fully and completely by inhaling and exhaling quickly. Inhaling one more time and exhaling quickly. And then on the last breath, let us inhale And exhale quickly as we open our eyes and greet ourselves once again. It's been quite a journey this evening. I'm so glad that we got the lotus flower, the flower that means so much to so many of us that are working on our spirit and on this journey, that we can see ourselves as that flower together. It's perfect for the spring. And again, I'll always remind you, please remember to like this video if you are liking what you're seeing. Say hello in the comments, subscribe to the channel so that you can get the latest of when we are live streaming our events, either from Zoom or from YouTube Live. But if you're on YouTube Live, the more support we get, the more we can expand ourselves and extend ourselves to you. So it's been a glorious evening. It's been a beautiful day today, and what a great way to end it and begin our unfoldment. So I invite you to just relax this evening. Maybe go out one more time and get a beautiful whiff of the night air, and then move on into your weekend and enjoy whatever you have planned. ISD has lots planned, but I won't use this time to share that. I'll ask you to go to the website, check out our newsletter, which came out today, and you will see so many things that are happening. I thank you once again. I bid you good night and farewell. And we'll see you next week.